steel beams, turbine motors, copper wiring, and scrap metal. The Lenox Metals Recycling Show is for the serious big players. If you're working in a demolition, renovation, construction, in the hotel industry, government agency, or a utilities company, or just need to know what to do with your scrap and junk, then tune in. Al Hornstein, CEO of Lenox Metals, has over 25 years of experience as a commercial and industrial scrap metals dealer. He will bring you valuable information on how to save time, money, and your company's reputation when it comes to processing your recyclable scrap materials. Now, here's your host, Alan Hornstein, and his co-host, Justine Gronwald.
Aloha and welcome back for another episode of Lenox Metals Recycling Show. I'm the co-host, Justine Gronwald, and here's the host, CEO of Lenox Metals, Alan Hornstein.
Thank you, Justine. Nice to be back.
Yes, and today what we're going to dive deeply into is what Lenox Metal can offer you, which is the state-of-the-art transportation and collection service. Let's dive deep into how you're state-of-the-art.
Okay. Over the years, the company has built up its services based on demand. So as our company grew over the years, we had certain types of special containment and trucks that were built. Most of the trucks were built and purchased on the mainland. And also fitted with certain types of special equipment for hauling over the road. Mm. We have a multi-fleet of roll-off trucks, which when I say roll-off, these are trucks that roll on and roll off the back of their trucks containers, either on a cable or a hook system. Most of our equipment is designed on a cable system. So we're rolling on and rolling off all types of different sizes of roll-off containers that are sized anywhere between 10 yard in size all the way up to 48 yard in size. Mm-hmm. And it depends on the requirement for the project, the customer, if you will. At most of our utility and military customers, we have all types of different sizes and bins that we drop at those locations. Again, anywhere between 10 yard, sometimes with covered tops, which are used for stormwater runoff, as well as open top containers that are logistically placed around the city to handle the collection and hauling of the material into our facility.
And of course, you would do a thorough assessment of what their needs will be, and then you'll make a determination upon that assessment.
Yeah, for any new project or ongoing project that we have where we need to facilitate with equipment, we go out and we survey the location with the representatives of those companies and figure out what they need. And then we have to develop a customized program, typically.
It's not one size fit all.
One size will not fit all. It never does. Even in the smallest accounts, we have forkliftable bins, stationery bins, all the way up to the larger size roll-offs. But the larger commercial industrial clients who are involved in large demolition usually will take anything that's of a large roll-off bin all the way down to a medium-sized bin, depending upon where they are in a project.
And then you take care of all their recyclable materials,
We do.
And that's what you. Now, do you go in prior to demolition, or do you go after demolition? What are the different phases that you're usually called in to assess something like that?
We're usually called in either in the pre-planning stages of a project to see what we'll be dealing with in terms of types of materials. We're also called in as the project may start, commence within days or weeks.
What would you recommend a generator to do? What's the best way to go about this?
A generator will look at our information packet of equipment. And by extracting certain types of equipment that they need at the project will tell us what size containment or transportation they need. And sometimes time-sensitive projects where we cannot have a container sitting on a project site will dispatch an end dump type unit that is there that will wait for material to be collected and loaded into the truck to be taken away immediately, or will provide traditional types of trailering like the traditional 40-foot trailer or a lowboy type trailer if it's an oversized load or a wide-ranging load that requires a permit over the road. So that's all done typically in advance of the project commencing.
So you would highly recommend that the earlier the better, though.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
So it sounds like to me so it can go smoother.
Yeah, it not only goes smoother, it allows us to plan better internally.
Right.
You know, our planning goes out sometimes weeks at a time for certain types of projects that we're operating in. So we have to have some vision in our dispatch group. Our managers in dispatch will look at a program or look at a project and say, okay, we'll need A, B, and C type container. And then they'll look at the frequency of the material being recycled, because once you take something out that's full, you need to replace it with something empty. And then there's actually the timeline of the customer. How sensitive is the timeline? Sometimes we've been involved in work that is done for the state or other types of large entities, military, where we're only allowed in the evening hours. So that would be more of a 24/7 type call out.
So all of that has to be taken into consideration.
It does. And if we're requiring that, let's say our security clearances are required for our military clients, we have to ensure that everyone driving our trucks and hauling our containers or have security clearances and are properly badged to go in and out of a state-run facility or a military location.
Wow, so it sounds like you have it all covered with Lenox Metals.
We hope to do that, but we take pride in completing that type of arrangement for our clients.
Okay, great. So with that, to get more information at the bottom of your screen, call or text the number, area code 808-518-3997, and Alan will get you a report for more information covering the various topics of this podcast episode. So until our next episode, we're going to say aloha.
Thank you, Justine.
Thank you.